Hey. Hello. Welcome back, guys. All right. So, before I jump on into this check in on the topic of love, I will say this. I know I'm in really bright red, but I had a flash of red that I saw, and it was not in the right place for it to have been like reflected light off of my necklace, and it was just weird because it was like behind me. So either my eyes are just picking up light, and if you look at something for a long time and then you look away, sometimes you'll still see that color. It's just that I wasn't doing that. So to me it was almost like a flashing red light of like police lights or something is what it made me actually think of. So I don't know if there's like a red flag or a red light or hey, caution, or if it's like flashing fun party lights or what. We have Imagine. Hi everyone, Atala, great to catch you. Hi Shea, or Shay, excuse me. Um, Imagine. Okay, so apparently the red is out the window, and here we go into cool blue tones. This is somebody's imagination is at work, but it's really it's divinely inspired. However, this what comes through this character's mind is the divine directly communicating with them. It is from the higher realms. It's like the light streaming through the clouds in those moments that look like angels are singing. There's something really beautiful about this. Hang on, let me actually change decks here. Oh, father and researcher, family, patriarch, guardian, paternal authority, ancestral passage. And we have explorer of truth, exploration, study, rigor, and experiment. Okay, which goes along with the imagine. This could be something where a character is learning about themselves by learning first about their father. They might have imagined themselves as being a certain, this feels like a divine masculine, obviously. Um, but they are thinking about themselves, like what kind of a father are they going to be for their child. Maybe they're questioning what kind of father they actually had. Maybe this is somebody who's going to become a father for the first time, and they need to know, like, okay, how do I do this? Let me envision me being a really great dad. But we do have a daughter here as well, so this could be somebody doing some research on their family lineage from their father's side, maybe because they're wondering where they get their creative spark from. But let's see, this could still go in a lot of different ways. It just obviously we have, a central focus. Now we could also talk about it like the father could be like, you know, um, the heavenly father. This could be somebody who's like doing spiritual research. Hi everybody, great to see you. Dwayne, Jojo, Decoded, Angelina. We got a 6 of Cups in the reverse. This is like, why was my father not around? Why did my father not show up? Why was my father not a kindred soul? 8 of Swords. Either somebody is researching to discover where their father figure disappeared to, or why their father figure wasn't around. But when I say it this way, it could be why they were emotionally distant, or it could literally be, what happened? Did my dad get stuck somewhere? Were they not with me after I was a child? Because it turns out they, were trapped someplace else, in a different country, far away from me. Did they ever try to come see me? Did they not? We have a 2 of Wands. For some reason, figuring out, I'm going to suggest that maybe there's like a father wound, or a paternal, like a parentage thing, where it's like, I need to understand what runs in my family. Why do we behave the way we do? Maybe this is, I've spent a lot of my life feeling hurt by a parent's behavior, and I want to imagine that it's not the story that I thought it was, or maybe it's time that I feel like somebody wants to heal from something. Basically, they want to understand something so they can move on, but they want to know, what category do I put this situation in my mind and in my heart, so I can move on with my life. Somebody was not there for them, and it feels like it was a father figure. So this could be somebody who's really trying to comprehend, well, how does somebody do that? How is it that you could make a life and then not be there to protect the life? How do you do that? For some reason, like I am so thinking about like Eminem in this, he's pretty open, even though he's such a public figure. Like he's such like a focused father, because he didn't have that. And he talks a lot about that, I think, in his music and just him as a person. Like he was going to be the father that he didn't have. And I think it's so admirable. And so like, it's so much love from, such a badass singer, right? With so much energy to him. But then he comes across as this incredibly like present, family oriented individual who would sacrifice for that. And that's just what this makes me think of. Like somebody is maybe they're like, that's who I am. So how is it that I would have a parent that didn't do that for me? And it's just like wrapping their head around that is what it kind of seems like to me, because I think that the character that we're talking about is very different. And they're like, what would it be that would make somebody so different from the way I would choose to behave? With this 10 of Wands, I think it's been holding them back in being able to like love and trust. Particularly, this could be a masculine who had a big issue with his father, who is getting over it in the way of like understanding, maybe I'll never figure out why my dad behaved that way, but I'm a different man. I'm a better man. And that's not going to prevent me from loving somebody, trusting a partner, trusting that, a woman can love me, trusting that I can find somebody that is really, truly there for me and that I would be there for. This feels like we have the story of a divine masculine whose ability to have a healthy, or, I mean, who am I to say what's healthy, right? These are fictional stories anyway, but to be able to love somebody and trust that she loves them in return, that was complicated by this issue. And he's researching it and working through it so he can finally not have it be an obstacle anymore. He's putting the capstone on this. He's about to realize the simple truth: I'm not my father. However my dad operated, whether it was shady, whether it was he wasn't there, I could never get him to love me if he was there, if he was always emotionally like stunted, if whatever his things are that happened to him, I can only choose to be different than him. That's all. I maybe I won't ever fully understand it, but I do know that this is my time to say, well, that's not the man I'm going to be. That's how this comes across to me. It feels very, and I don't know, maybe he's understanding that because maybe he has a child or something, and that's really helped him to understand and like really comprehend, wow, I had some really deep wounds. I don't even want to say like abandonment issues. It definitely looks aloof, but it looks like he's really contemplated his father figure. What was wrong with dad? As he gets through that, it's really like freeing for him. And it's really remarkable that he's such a different person. That's what it sounds like. We have a 7 of Wands. And I mean, this could be the story of her saying, I'm not my father. Just because my father couldn't express love to me, that doesn't mean it's going to impact me and my ability to believe that some other man would love me. Man, woman, it doesn't matter. I don't care about genders, but I feel like I'm reading this first as all a masculine, but this could be how a feminine is dealing with how her father wasn't able to be there for her. And honestly, it could be two people. It could be masculine and a feminine, both of which had similar things to come to terms with. Any way we slice it, the walls are coming down. The 7 of Wands is in the reverse. There really aren't obstacles. This being able to imagine or try to put ourselves in someone else's shoes, especially someone who's important in our lives, like a patriarch, like a maternal or paternal figure, who maybe they were doing the best they could with their issues. And this was maybe the best they could do. They loved me the only way they knew how. Or maybe they didn't love me at all, but maybe they didn't have that ability. Maybe they were scarred. Maybe they were detached. Whatever it was, I'll never understand. All I can say is that's not going to be who I am. And that might be the only thing. How do we ever break a pattern? By being the person who breaks a pattern. This is a remarkable story of a character that has to be really, really strong to choose a different path than the thing that was patterned to us, and especially without any positive role model or positive patterning to follow. So you really just have to trailblaze and be like, I'm just going to do it different, I guess, because I don't like what it was. there is a huge laying down of obstacles, and it is definitely the divine inspiration. Because even here, 7 is a divine number. We have the divine inspiration. This is somebody triumphing over something, but this actually says, I don't have to triumph over it. I already have, because I'm not my father. I'm not the person that was stunted, or my mother, or whomever it was. Really nice to see our character healing so much. And I don't know if I should even say healing. It's a character who is working their way through a thought process so they can be free of things. 5 of Swords, I gotta say, at this point in time, we could have a character that is actually pushing away an entire, I don't know if this father had brothers, uncles, all that, but if there is a toxic masculinity or femininity, we all know ladies can be just as toxic as any masculine, and all the toxic masculine traits can be shown up in feminines as well, competitiveness, jealousy, the tearing each other down, all that. It doesn't matter what gender we're talking about. Anybody toxic pretty much has the same capacity to behave in the similar ways. But I think that they are pushing all this away, saying, you know what, I actually reject all this. If my father came from a family that was like this, maybe I actually want to spend less time with my uncles and aunties, because maybe y'all are kind of toxic. I still don't need this. I'm going in a different direction. It's really, it doesn't mean that there's anger or anything. It's just the comprehension of, like, there's only one way to move forward in life, and that is to break the pattern. We have the Queen of Cups again. I just want to read the storyline mostly in one direction and say, the more this masculine is able to, and let me put it this way, I think that this is the truly, like, the strongest, most empowered vision of a masculine, when he can make a change as to who he wants to be, even though he didn't have, the role models. And in fact, maybe he had the exact reverse. But talk about strength of the divine masculine to say, I'll choose to be a different man. If he is able to do all of that, I have to say, he is so ready for something softer, something more loving, something healthier. And in this case, it keeps coming up as like a Queen of Cups. I don't know if she has shown him some kind of unconditional love, if she has shown him she would represent everything opposite this, okay? Where there's competitiveness, she only offers support. Where there is harsh words and cruelty and, razzing each other and always pushing each other and, like absolutely tearing each other down, she's going to be kind of like an open ear. And it's not even because it's a feminine energy versus a masculine. That's not it at all. This is toxic versus open. That's all that I see here. Love versus toxicity versus challenge versus fear. Now, it happens to be that it's being depicted as if there is a feminine that he knows is everything he wants. And so he's going after her with that Fool card. Everything he wants. Maybe a little late in the game. Maybe he's got a graying beard. Maybe he's a silver fox now. Maybe he's at an age where I just think he's more content and more comfortable in his own. God, look at this. He's an emperor. He's an emperor. He's more content and more genuinely empowered. If he wants to wear a crazy hat in multicolors with bells on it, he will, and you know what? He'll look damn good doing it. He's very secure in who he is, very secure. There isn't an amount of razzing or shaming that will make this man waver or stumble or falter. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly who he is. He knows exactly what he wants. And all of the other drama and aloofness and toxicity and all those things that he's really contemplated, like, where does that come from? You may never get an answer to where it came from. He may never know why his father was that way. He may never know why the people his father associated with, or his uncles and brothers and all that, operate that way. All it is, but I know who I am. And I know I'm taking a leap of faith toward her. And I know it's destination mermaid. That's where he's headed. She's a mermaid. This is where I'm headed. This is what I want. I'm so confident, and I don't need approval. I don't care who disapproves of me. I always kind of think that that's the test of, how grown up are we? Because in life, it's, I think anyway, it's hard to not still need approval. But at some point when people don't approve of you and you say, well, it stings, it hurts, but fuck it. I still got to do what I got to do. They're not going to like it. The family's not going to approve, but fuck it. I got to do me. And it's like when you get to that point where you can still love them too, but they don't like you for who you are or what you are, but you still can say, I know, but I still love you anyway, but you're going to be disappointed and you're not going to like me. And that's okay. That to me is kind of like when we get to the point of being mature enough where we can break away from the family and we can claim our own identity, or at least that's how it was for me. I have to get to the point where I'm okay with me. Maybe nobody else is, but I got to be okay with me. With this Two of Pentacles in the reverse, I don't even think there's any question mark about, in his mind about like, what happens if I move toward her and, she's not sure, or what if she doesn't care about me, or what if. He doesn't do what ifs. He pretty much says, the only way forward is what I know I'm called to do, what I know I need to do, what I have to pursue. There isn't really, he doesn't get bogged down with overthinking. And it doesn't mean he steamrolls anything. He just simply like strides toward what he needs to pursue. We have a Five of Swords. What's that Five of Swords doing there? The Devil and the Moon. Was this what they took aim at? I'm getting the impression that on his father's side, and maybe his father as well, and some group-oriented bunch of bastards. Sorry. I normally got my meathead card, but I guess I'm in a pirate mood tonight, so I'm cussing. I don't think cussing has to be harsh. I kind of like it. It rolls off the tongue. But I almost feel like what they took aim at for him is they might have razzed him quite a bit, tried to instill fear, even tried to say, you're not going to have any luck with her. She wouldn't want you, blah, 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 blah. They tried to instill fear, doubt, confusion. She probably doesn't know who you are. She probably wouldn't want to know who you are. She probably forgot about you if you ever did know her. She's probably pissed at you. She'll never forgive you, blah, 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 blah. Whatever it is they said, I feel like it was bad, bad, bad. And I feel like he says, well, that might all be true, but I still got to go toward her because it's Destination Mermaid. This almost feels like the point is I don't know. I have no idea. But the knuckleheads who kept telling me all of this negativity, I won't know until I know for myself. So it doesn't matter how much crummy advice I get, how much razzing I get, how much people want to instill fear in me to make me not follow my path. Man, he's had a lot of opposition. He has had a ton of emotional opposition and a ton of really caustic words thrown at him, maybe his whole life. So it's even more to his credit that he is this man. But he's moving forward anyway. I think he's saying, if I have to come in and tell her I'm sorry, I will. If I have to come in and make a small offer and see if she'll accept it, I will. I have to move toward what I want. I think he knows well enough now to realize, look, I'm not dealing with you knuckleheads. I'm dealing with her. And the way you would behave, the games you would play, the nastiness you would play, she doesn't play games like that. You don't understand. I'm dealing with a queen, and a queen of cups, no less. Somebody in control of her emotions. If she's mad, she'll tell me she's mad. She'll also tell me why she's mad, and she won't get low blows and hit below the belt. And she won't come for the jugular, and she won't play mental mind games. She's healthy and whole. She'll speak from the heart. She'll explain if she's wounded. She'll tell me she hurts, and she'll tell me she loves me if that's how she feels. She won't do this. She won't try to tear me to ribbons for the fun of it or play mind games. That's not how the Queen of Cups behaves. And so that's the difference. They've been able to see the difference. Thankfully, they had these knuckleheads because the knuckleheads show the opposite side. It shows like the toxicity. It shows what you don't want. It shows Let me put it this way. You know, sometimes when you buy something online and it doesn't look anything like the picture, it's like, wow, this is a horrible knockoff. This is awful. Versus the original item. And it's like, okay, the original item, if I pay the big money for it, I get something quality, something made of the real material. But if you get the one that's only $14 instead of $49.99, you can see why. It's because it's totally crappy. That's basically what I think they're saying. Like, here's the difference in behavior. This is the knockoff version of what romance, love, or friendship can look like versus the real deal. The real deal is going to be kind and it's going to be expressive. And it doesn't mean it's always going to be sunshine and roses, but it means even then it's going to be something that's, you know, like genuinely expressed. We have her here with a Four of Cups. We have her possibly wondering, was everything all an illusion? They may know that she's always felt like it was a missed opportunity with them. She may have said that. She may, and that's the thing, the knuckleheads don't know. Whatever they've been saying to either tarnish this, tell them not to go after her, tell them, you know, this is stupid. I believe the Empress says they don't know what I know about her. She may have already told me that she loved me, and I know she meant it. She may have said this is a huge sorrow and a big missed opportunity with me, because I was being a knucklehead back then too. I wasn't going to let somebody love me because, hey, I was my father's son for a while. But there's an element of her where she told me the truth. Maybe she even said, I don't even know why this happened. Was any of this real? Was any of this true? I don't get what is missing here. Somehow she already loved him, is what I think this is. Let me ask. Emperor, what did you have with her in the past? Hi, baby. Hi, pumpkins. I almost knocked over Snowman. Knight of Cups in the reverse, they did not pursue her. They did not go after her. So I don't know if this was like a love at a distance or this was an acknowledgement that she already sensed, like, wow, we could be something, but you don't seem to be coming toward me. And that's a damn shame. Yeah, this was a 10 of Cups that they didn't ride toward. This was, I mean, all of it was right there. All they had to do was step over the itty bitty little low fence and come on in and be a loyal heart to this tree of life and build a legacy with her. And they chose not to move toward her. They couldn't. They had to, at that time, figure out why the aloofness. What the hell was it? Why are they acting like their father's son? Where did all that blockage come from? Why did they operate that way? And I think there was so much toxicity around them. It was such a, this has been such a necessary thing that they would get a chance to, I'm coming, baby, that they would get a chance to, you know, turn this all around, that they would get a chance later on when they were done thinking through all of this. I do feel like she must have given them tremendous unconditional love. And this is rare. This is very rare, and they know it, but it's also an example of like maybe what real love is. That happiness that they could have had with her, but they just couldn't move toward her at the time. Even if they had tried, it wouldn't have worked because they had too many meathead voices, you know, in their ear all the time. They had to have the strength to break away from all of that. I do feel like this is a masculine who is leaving people out of his decision making at minimum, but also possibly moving on and moving away from, you know, individuals that are just so unhealthy relatives, or even, you know, their own group of friends that maybe they cultivated because at that point in time they were still operating like their father's son. You know, the kind of person who wants to be aloof, the kind of person who wants to throw barbs back and forth, the kind of person that's not going to open up on emotions, that might, you know, take anything soft and kind and crush it and make it sharp and jagged, you know. That seems to be what they were doing in the past. So they couldn't have said yes to her or to this opportunity in the past. There is, I don't even want to say that there's a lot that needs to be fixed here. It's, I mean, yes, maybe there are things, because if they've caused her grief or pain, you know, obviously there would be the need to maybe heal some of that. But on the other hand, This opportunity has always still been here, and they needed to become this man to be able to play a role in that opportunity. Final message, and then I have to go because my baby says so. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. Talk about a new opportunity. This is marvelous. This is the new beginning for him, the new beginning for them. Let's put it this way, at minimum, regardless of what happens between him and the mermaid, it's definitely, he's a new, shiny new penny. He is a different man from this point onward. Good for him. Man, I'm so rooting for this character. You guys, really good to see you. Awesome, Jessica. Happy birthday, honey. Happy birthday. Crystal Suzanne. Hi, honey. Monique. Decoded. Michelle S. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Gigi Alexander. Great to see you. Hi, Patrician. You angel. Thank you. Lots of love to you, love. Melissa, hi, honey. Sorry I missed you in the live earlier today. I didn't have time to get to everybody, but I did see you and I did make a mental note. 01 Frequency, Michelle S. Calm C. Hi, Bernadette. Vajuna Wild, great to catch you. John Schultz, hey, sweetie. Hey, Friendly Fires, glad you made it. Victoria, Wonder T, thank you guys. Hey, Jessica Rios. Thank you, everybody. Okay, Aries is huffing and puffing at me, so please forgive me, anyone that I didn't get a chance to say hi to, but I have to go. Or the baby will woof. He's looking at me with his Batman ears and his little fangs. Hi. You want to come up and say hi? Yeah, you do? Okay. Are we ready? You ready to go outside? You woke up after your nice long nappy. You got lonely? Mama's right here. All right, you guys, have a great night. He's got to go out for a potty. Bye.